blast.
Good morning. I'm Brian Smallwood with Villa Realty Group here in Cape Coral, Florida. I'm here this morning with some of our new residents, Randy and Renee Carlson. They are from actually not just a different part of the country, but a different part of the world, as their background is in being missionaries. So, today they've taken a minute to share with you, our customers, possibly for the future, as to what they think about Southwest Florida, why they made the decision to choose this to be their future home, and maybe a little more specific, why they choose to select me to help them accomplish that goal. So just say good morning, thank you, and by the way, again, welcome.
Thank you.
Appreciate the confidence that you guys had in letting me help you with this. So many people out there browsing the internet, just looking, www searching. I find that most people I talk to just kind of lump Florida together, Sunshine State, blah, blah, blah. So I'd like to maybe get your opinion or your point of view about this area, and knowing that you guys did spend a few days looking in other areas, maybe why you specifically chose Cape Coral for your new home. So Renee, I'll give that one to you.
Well, to begin with, we've had a lot of friends from the north that have moved down, and they highly recommended this part of the country. And so we decided we would start on the Gulf Coast, and we would just start going down. So we went from town to town and city to city, looked at the prices, looked at the real estate, and continued to move further south. And by the time we got to Cape Coral, we saw that the prices were much cheaper, the values were much better, and the people were very friendly, a real melting pot of people, and we just felt real good about the place.
Good. Well, we're really glad to hear that. I mean, especially the part about feeling that it's nice people. And I know our conversation started out somewhat, I know I sound very biased of telling people what a great place that Cape Coral is. And so for those out there just wondering, is that really true? It's not just me, because that's where I live.
What happened is we were going from place to place, checking properties and all this, and then we came to Cape Coral. We were planning to move on south towards Naples, but we never got out of Cape Coral.
Yeah.
We stuck here and we liked it, and this is where we said we're stopping.
Right. So I don't remember, I know you said you looked at Englewood, Venice, further up the coast. Northport. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Nokomis even.
Nokomis. So what's the one thing that stood out about Cape Coral? But yeah, I know you said friendly people.
Yeah. What I liked is the size. It's a bigger city, 150,000 people, I believe.
Right.
And it's a nicer neighborhood. It's a lot of it is new, and I see great potential here, growth in the future.
And Renee commented about the pricing. So what was an idea of the difference in pricing that you compared to Venice and
Englewood? 20,000, 30,000,
for such a house.
Yeah, in some places are even more.
Okay.
And another thing, I'm from a big city up north, and I like stores, I like conveniences, and some of the towns we would go in, I mean, it was like you're gonna have to drive 30 minutes to go somewhere.
Right.
And we saw, we'd go a few miles, and here was another Walgreens, here was another CVS, here was TJ Maxx. A lot of the stores that we have up north, we were seeing them, and a lot of stuff.
Nothing wrong with older cities, but some of these places were kind of old,
Right.
And Cape Coral has a lot of new.
Yeah, and I attribute a lot of that because Cape Coral being the waterfront community, those people.
This is what we love.
Yeah.
And we were in the South Pacific for 30 years, and and our kids are also planning to move in this direction.
Right.
We love the water.
So how do you think your kids will enjoy it when they come down?
Oh, I'm sure they'll love it greatly.
So it seems to be a place for all types of people from all walks of life, comfortable.
And I talk to people too, and we're very family oriented, and whether this is a positive or negative, a lot of people I've talked to, they said, this is not a party place.
Right.
Not a lot of drinking
To us,
and partying.
that's a plus.
Right.
It's more wholesome.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
that's
Better place to raise kids.
Yeah, and as a realtor, some of these things that you can say, I cannot, okay? So that's why it's best even to hear from the words of others like yourself. No hold back, if you will, and so on. So, So great, you felt it was a great value, you did wind up making selection of a property. Now, we spent a good few days together looking at multiple properties. Got to know each other pretty well, okay, and I hope to become more acquainted and better friends as time goes on. But from the time that we spent together, maybe given those out there looking at their other options of, yeah, well, there's a bunch of realtors out there. What would you say your experience with me representing you, what, if anything, stood out to you that you would say would be something that others might keep in mind?
Well, first of all, let me say that when we met you before we came,
Okay.
you spent a long time on the phone. We talked to several realtors. You know how you punch in their website, you get
Sure.
contacted from them. I think that's how it happened with you.
Right.
But it ended up, you spent a lot of time with us on the phone, more than anybody.
Okay.
And I thought, wow, he's putting a lot of hours in here. I mean, it added up to be hours
Sure.
on the phone. And so that prejudiced us towards you in the beginning to lean towards what you had told us. You gave a lot of information that was very helpful just on the phone.
Yeah, I was going to say too, I was on the internet searching, and that's how I found you. And I contacted other realtors, you know.
Sure.
Many
Nothing
of them,
against them, they're fine,
no,
but
no. But I noticed that they were slow in sending material. Sometimes, you know, I would wait and then, but I mean, you know, you were just going at it. Really, I think you're a workaholic, that's
Well,
for sure.
I've been accused, you know.
Yeah.
Well, and you know, that's part of, as I introduced and shared with you, I know a lot of people, it probably doesn't sink in the value of what I call my 25-point service guarantee. Now, I make certain promises to my customers that I will deliver to meet their interests so that they know that when it comes down to the final decision, because it always does, 99% of the people say, you know, okay, I can't pick the one, which one do you think is the better, lean on my opinion. And for most out there, they think, well, okay, maybe it's about how much money did he make or would be making, it tilts his answer. So that's a commitment I make to my customers. Was that important to you, do you think?
let me just say this, that as we spent time with you and you were quite willing to take at our convenience whenever we were ready to show homes and show them endlessly, and also I value immensely your background as a contractor and your ability to show things and point things out that others would not have been able to. I've also done a lot of building, but I value that immensely, and your contacts with people, also the fact that you're a resident here, live here, know the people, and that was immensely valuable to us.
And like you say, people coming in, total strangers to an area. We could tell you anything about where we're from,
Right.
but we
Exactly.
know nothing,
Right,
and
right.
clueless. And so that insight, you know, helped tremendously.
Right. And like I say, so if there was, so for those folks out here that are maybe considering an agent, you would feel comfortable to recommend my services maybe to your family and friends?
What amazed me the most is when you were negotiating the deal.
Okay.
I was in the office listening as you were talking. My jaw just went. I said, wow, he's worth his weight in gold just for those few minutes.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine the money you saved us with your ability to negotiate a deal. You told us a few days before, I have some strategies here that I think will work.
Right.
And they worked.
Yeah, and that is very important. Thank you for noticing that. And, you know, here's the deal. So many things in this business that the people at first point of contact, and you now can see that looking back 2020, things that didn't seem to be very important at all when you were WW. It's more about immediately now. But in the very end, when you're trying to look at these homes, we got these crises out there, defective drywall, you have some certain specific interest needs for your future
That's right.
interest. So those are all very important to have knowledge about, but people aren't thinking about them up front. And then, of course, the one thing that most people are thinking about right up front is, I want to get my very best deal. So that goes back to my 25-point guarantee. Did you ever feel like the homes that I directed you toward were based upon how much commission that I would earn versus being a great deal for you.
Well, no. In fact, we came back with homes from that we looked up and said, "How about this one, this one?" And you know, they all came back down to the ones that you pointed out
Right.
were really the best deal anyway. And so we came to realize that you really did steer us to where the best deal was. And the fact that you kind of had a flat rate, I think that was right there. You know, money's not the driving force behind it. And now that we've you know, brokered the deal, you're just as helpful, you know, to continue it on. Not like I got my money and bye.
Well,
But,
and I hope to still provide that as you guys, yet for 2 years when you move in, and
Yeah,
of course,
right.
you're working with a management company, that's an added plus that, you know, you don't have to go outside looking for somebody to
Right.
service, you know, helping you get the home rented. So, and your big cost for buying today was getting to take advantage of these low prices,
Yes.
okay?
Mhm.
Comment a little bit about that from other parts of the country, other,
Well, you know, when we've talked to family and friends, and we'd say, oh, well, we found this for such and such an amount, and they're going, you couldn't find anything for that. Nothing. And they're just shocked and amazed, and for the price that we paid, you know, they were expecting something much, much worse, and we're amazingly surprised.
and it's a
Truly
wonderful, beautiful home in fantastic conditions, so.
And beautiful Florida.
Yeah.
The warm weather and the, you know, the water, you know, there's a lot of pluses here, and then good prices on top of that. That's an amazing.
Well, thank you again, you guys. Welcome to the neighborhood. I don't think
Okay.
anybody could say it better, and it
Thank
makes
you.
me proud to have been able to help. And I do look forward to helping you as well. So if you would, give me a call. Again, my number is 239-281-4663. Look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks.